We're back at Rec Hall on the campus of Penn State University, this storied old athletic venue. We go to the final round, the final rotation. Now remember, there's 6 teams in competition for 2 spots in the final, but only 4 of them are competing in this last round. So 2 of our teams, Michigan and Missouri, have done their work. They have to sit on the sidelines, hope for the best now, while Iowa State, Georgia, and Penn State have to perform at their best in order to ensure spots in the finals. It should be very interesting and very close. Well, they are aptly named the Cyclones, about to tear down the runway in their last rotation of the evening. They're on the vault. And Christy Carney leads them off.
Chango layout for a twist. A little trouble in that landing. And right now, every 10th counts.
Yeah, nothing taken for granted. And quickly we go to floor at the University of New Hampshire and Heather Moore. Started off strong. Her numbers have dipped in the course of the evening, but here she is in floor exercise.
Pike to open floor exercise. I always thought floor was a great place to end your competition. It was where you could really show off your personality, but it was also kind of the hardest routine to get through because it's so long and it takes so much energy. So you could just use all the energy you had because you didn't have any other events to do.
So we're talking about 90 seconds here, flat out. Incredible explosive energy.
And no time to stop. Especially if you've got fast music.
We're watching Heather Moore from the University of New Hampshire.
Beautiful 2.5 twist at the end.
New Hampshire came in as the clear long shot to grab a spot in the final championship round in Los Angeles, but they performed well.
They did. They're doing very well. And, you know, you just got to keep plugging away year after year, building a stronger and stronger team. And as they get more experience, they'll do better in the future.
Heather Moore. Kate Stopper of Penn State has been one of the surprising factors in the team's run, perhaps to a spot in the final. Kate Stopper, 5'1" junior, native of the Keystone State.
Penn State has 2 strong balance beam routines under their belt right now.
She has the shoes on you were mentioning.
Yeah, she has balance beam shoes on.
Sort of like ballet slippers, I guess.
A little bit. They have a little tread at the bottom.
Whoa!
Don't want to count that wobble.
Wobble beats the fall, though, which is 5/10 of a point, right?
Absolutely. Wobble beats the fall, but you need a hit routine if they want to be in those top 2.
6 competitors for the team. Kate is in the 3rd spot. They throw out the low score.
This is the down on the beam requirement.
Big bruise on her upper right thigh. That might be a little damage of that beam work that you're talking about.
That's one of those slides I got from beam.
Nice dismount.
Big dismount, big hop on the landing. They would probably like to drop that score. And this was certainly by no means a bad routine. This was a great routine. It's just that every little bobble counts.
Yeah, because the performance overall has been excellent on the beam and very few mistakes. And here come the Cyclones again on the runway, ready for takeoff. Erin Detloff of Iowa State. Oh!
She's running strong. Beautiful front with layout half.
Good girl. Nice job.
Boy, was she determined when she took off. Love the look on her face.
She's so determined. Here she goes, round off onto the board. And then a half front layout out.
Now Georgia, the favorites, and they've been leading throughout the evening, are working through their final routine. Kelsey Erickson on the bars.
Beautiful form. See if she hits this handstand. Pretty close, right into the dismount. Nice half-turn double front.
Oh, and the gym dogs gathered in the bench behind erupt. They know they are getting a little closer to yet another chance in the championship round. They've been there 15 of the last 17 years in the finals.
And it's hard to know if they actually know where they are in the standings right now.
There's the coach, who's done such an amazing job at Georgia. Back to the Cyclones of Iowa State. They were the second-seeded team coming in here. Will they finish in one of the top 2 spots and go on to L.A.? Janet Anson takes her turn. 5'5" freshman out of Kansas City, Missouri. Warm up, ready? And here we go.
Landing, little twist, tiny hop on that landing.
New Hampshire in progress in the floor exercise. Ariana Peña Trastini from Venezuela got a good performance on the bars, had a little bobble on the beam.
Great floor routine. Active even in her dance combinations. As I say that, she slows down. She's got to take a breath at some point. Gorgeous double pipe. You're allowed to take a lunge, but when you can stick that landing without the step back, the step into a lunge, that just shows how much control you have over that skill.
There, a little South American influence. The native of Venezuela, Mariana Peña Trastini. And Brooke Hamilton hitting the all-around.
Great ball. She did a front handspring onto the board to a tuck front off. You don't see that very often at all.
Brooke Hamilton, yeah.
You see a round off onto the board. Here she goes. She stays forward the entire time. Front handspring, front handspring tuck front, sticks the landing.
Well, for Penn State, Meredith Hoover in the cleanup, the final competitor here in this rotation, has a lot of pressure on her because just in front of her, Lisa Clark fell, scored just 9-2. Kate Stoppers scored less than that, so they really need a strong score here if they can pull off the upset bid.
Stay on that beam. This is such a tough position to be in.
Yeah, and the Lions have roared through the first 3 exercises, first 3 rotations. And as we've been saying all night, this is the one event most fraught with danger. And they have taken a couple of hits.
The great equalizer in gymnastics. And it's a tough event to end on. Not only end on, be the last person up, and follow a miss by a teammate.
Yeah.
Enormous pressure.
So the partisan Penn State crowd here really pulling, along with Meredith Hoover.
And she seems to be gaining a little confidence as it nears the end of this routine. This crowd's going crazy.
You heard it. She hit it pretty well, and that's the congratulations of her coach and teammates as she heads over, and now it's just a matter of tallying the points and the scoring and seeing how this thing plays out.
Here's her dismount, and at this point, all they can do is sit and wait.
Chelsea Bird of the University of Georgia and the Gym Dogs down to their final rotation as a team. They've held the top spot throughout this meet, and this is a good one to have up there near the end.
Beautiful Shpashnikova from the low bar to the high bar. Right upright, straight to handstand. Huge release move. Gorgeous routine.
What body control on the dismount. Kept that line firm all the way through.
Great meet for Chelsea today.
Nice smile, too, for the senior. They have 6 of their 18 competitors. Nice mix. Individual competition. This is interesting. I've been watching this young lady. Lisa Abrams has what they call the Don Joy brace on that right leg. That's that lightweight plastic. It's the modern-day descendant of the old Joe Namath brace for people with serious knee injuries. I know what I'm talking about here. But, boy, she's up there giving it a go.
She really is, and it looks to be her dominant leg as well, so she's going to take every landing with that right leg.
And the black part that you see is one of those polyurethane sleeves, we call them, to keep the joint warm underneath the actual brace.
It's got to be especially tough on balance beam when...
Oh, I can't imagine. Every ounce would throw you off of balance, right?
Absolutely. She's, I'm sure, had to take some time to get used to not only, you know, dealing with the injury, but also dealing with the knee brace on the beam.
Trust me, every time I miss a jump shot, I blame it on the brace. So can't imagine on the balance beam. Out of Rutgers, this is her specialty. Oh! With an air of resignation. She felt it going and couldn't pull it back. Well, she hopped right back up.
Well, of course, each girl only gets 30 seconds. You really have to collect yourself and move on.
Well, I give her a lot of courage points.
Absolutely. 1.5 twist off the end.
Told she tore 2 cruciate ligaments. So she's coming back from a real tough one. Now, back to the University of Georgia. Look at those scores. Fritzinger off to a great start and then stumbled on the floor, literally. But here she is on the bars for the Gym Dogs.
Beautiful pirouetting sequence, then down to the low bar. They are hitting those handstands. It's so important to collect every single tenth for those handstands. Double front half out.
Here's one of the outstanding individual competitors in tonight's meet, Amanda Hall from New Hampshire. You can see her scores through 3 exercises, and now the floor.
Catch your attention right away.
Listen to that music.
Huge double pipe. Second tumbling pass, punch layout front, layout front.
Great camera angle there. You kind of take for granted how supple these amazing athletes are.
Yeah, the flexibility involved. It's incredible. Last tumbling pass of the meet. Nice 1.5 twist.
Ooh. Very steady routine by Amanda Hall from the University of New Hampshire. We'll tell you all the final results when we come back right after this on CN8.